Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected viewers, dear students and my dear colleagues, I welcome once all to all of you here within this online lecture series. So we are talking about here the chapter number 4 from the component of political science, that's entitled as this gender, religion and the caste. And in my first two lectures rather, I was talking about the introduction. I was trying to define the two terms gender, religion and the caste. Later I was describing this gender politics in my previous lecture. I was talking about this how this sex and this gender are entirely the two different things, and how this feminism was as a moment was started within the society to overcome all those problems which the women are facing nowadays in this 21st century. So although the political thought has been started very earlier since 1968, when I was talking to you people, I give you the reference of the person, the Simon D. Beauvoir, the first feminist who talks about the feminism in his renowned book, that's The Second Sex. So overall, my general perception was to make your mindset about this, how this gender and this has become the problem among the society, how the politics is played on the behalf of the same gender, how women become the victim of the different issues in the society, where from the domestic violence is concerned, or when we talk about their least representation among the different organizations, among the different public offices, among the politics as well. So dear students, it's actually the patriarchal society, that the society which we have originated, among which we are surviving right now, it's patriarchal in nature. And although the role, the work, the job, the activities done by the work by the females, they are worthwhile, they need a lot of praise and appreciation. But still, if we talk about this, if we have the glance at the global politics, still we witness that the women are not given the equal rights, and they are discriminated. There is a stereotype mentality about the women folks, that they cannot do this thing and they cannot do that thing. But still we have witnessed a certain improvement among the different cases. When I was talking to you people among the Scandinavian countries, like we talk about the Sweden, we discussed about the Norway and the Finland. There we witnessed the high participation of the women among the different public offices, among the different corners of the life. So this was the basic introduction when I was talking to you about the gender politics, and this how this women becomes the victim of the different issues. But the topic which I have chosen for you people today, that's about that how to come out of this quagmire, how to come out of this situation. That's this the theme which I have chosen for you people, that is this women's political representation. Okay, dear students, so women's political representation, this is well known. If we talk about the issues related to the women's well-being, or otherwise we talk about this improvement and emancipation of the women, we cannot witness a random or a tremendous change. What we can say that we have witnessed in the progress and the prosperity for the sake of the women. It was a question mark before all the feminists. Feminist thought, all the feminist believers, that the women has not been witnessing the stats, and the position of the women is not progressing day by day. The only conclusion which they have drawn, that is there is only one problem, that is the inadequate attention among the political arena of the women. When the women are not showing the best political representation, when they are lagging behind among the political field, the moment they can take part within the political field, they are politically uplifted, they are politically emancipated, then we can say that there is a bit progress, there is a bit emancipation in their stats, in their position as well. That's why it was a burning issue before all the feminists, that we can't witness the economic progress, we can't witness the social improvement, we can't talk about the psychological development till the moment we cannot witness the political representation, the representation of the women among the political sphere. So this women's political representation was must. So dear students, women's political representation means the representation of the women among the political spheres, the participation of the women among the Lok Sabha elections, the participation of the women among the local elections, and the participation of the women among the local self-government as well. If we talk about India, the proportion of the women in legislature has been very low in respect to the man. if we are bringing the comparison of the men and the female, male and the female, men and the woman, and comparison, the ratio of the female is entirely and almost very low. As per the recent studies, India has placed it on 111th position in the list of 189 countries of the world. So dear students, the position of India is 111th at the rank 111th. So it's 111th position of the placed is India in the list of the 189 countries. If you are talking about 189 countries, the rank, the serial of the India lies at the 111th position. So if you talk about in 2014 Lok Sabha general elections, 61 women leaders have been made into the parliament, which means that the percentage of the women in the Indian parliament is around 11%. So dear students, I am giving the statistics that if you talk about the entry of the women in the state in the parliament in the Lok Sabha elections 2014, so only 61 women made their entry. 61 women. So it's to the total this percentage becomes, it's only 11%. It's only 11% of the total entrants within the parliament. The percentage of the women is only 11%. So if you are bringing it still remains far below at the global level. If you are bringing the comparison, if we try to bring the comparison at the global level, I mean the global spheres, the ratio, the statistics, the figure is almost low. That's 21%. That's 21%. If you talk about the participation of the women at the global level, that's 21%. But the same women in India, the participation of the women among these elections, that's only 11%. Right? That's only 11%. And if you are bringing the comparison in my Asian continent with certain countries like Pakistan and Bangladesh, in Pakistan the participation is 20%, and in Bangladesh the participation is 19%. In Pakistan it's 20%. Okay, I was talking to you people that if you talk about the Bangladesh and Pakistan, in Bangladesh the participation is the percentage is 19%, and in the Pakistan it's 20%. So when it comes to India, that's only 11%. It's really quite the precarious situation that India, while once from one side, from one angle, it's claiming that we are the largest democracy under the sun. But if you talk about the female participation within the elections, that's very dismal. That's very low. Well, from the entire almost the entire Asian countries who are developing countries. And now the question comes, how to solve this problem, how to enhance the ratio of the women participation among these elections. So the constitution, we had to do something for that, or we had to pass certain laws for that. The feminists were every time worried about the same. So one way to solve this problem is to make a legally binding, to have a fair proportion of the women and to in election bodies. This is what the Panchayat Raj has done in India. So if you talk about the Panchayat Raj institutions of India, the third tier government within the country, what they have done, that they gave in the Panchayat Raj elections among the local self-governments, we are having this time the 1/3 reservation of the women for the women among the LSGs, among the local self-governments. So dear students, let me tell you here, it's 1/3 now, the reservation among the local self-government for the women among the local self-governance the bodies. So at the local level, at the grassroots level, we are having this now, the 1/3 reservation for the women's. The seats are reserved for the women categories. So having this innovative move, having this the progressive step for the sake of the women, we do have now this time, we can say that India do have the 10 lakh elected women representatives in the rural and urban local bodies. So dear students, India is now having the 10 lakh, we are having now this time the 10 lakh elected rural urban bodies, the women representatives in the rural and the urban local bodies. So 10 lakh, the figure has been now reached to the 10 lakh. Then where we can say, by giving them this 1/3 political reservation for the 1/3 reservation among the seats for the sake of the women, that we have touched the level of the 10 lakh elected women representatives among this rural urban local bodies. So now the question was, and before the different political pundits, before the analysts, that how to enhance this reservation, women's organization and different activists, social and political activists, they have been demanding a similar reservation of at least 1/3 of the seats in the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies for the women as well. Well, this question is a debatable talk. A bill with the same proposal has been pending before the parliament for more than a decade. So it's from almost 10 years the bill is pending before the parliament, where we cannot witness that any progress has been done on this for the same bill, for the development of the same bill, where we can say that we are going to provide this same reservation for the women among the Lok Sabha seats and among this the state assemblies as well. So the bill, although the proposal was produced before the parliament, but the bill still needs a lot of process to be to pass and to become an act. So dear students, gender division is an example that some form of social divisions needs to be expressed in politics. So it's an example that the social divisions needs to be expressed in the politics, where we can say we try to put forth the social divisions. We try to have the social divisions in the society, where we make gender a rod, where a gender is an ingredient. It becomes the tool before the hands of the men, where we can say this patriarchal society dominates, and it is not dominating only among the four walls of the house, but it dominates among the politics. And the moment it is dominating among the politics, it indicates that the economic aspect, the social aspect, the cultural aspect, the educational aspect, and this all the aspects of the life, they are at the loggerheads. There is not, we can't claim that we are doing the justice with this folk, that's the women folk, the fragile folk, because when they are not politically given the representation. Now, to end this short talk here, we can say that let's put a doubt among your minds, dear students, that do you think that the women could have made the gains, the women could have made the progress and prosperity? We have attained such a benchmark where we can say that women is not lagging behind. They are not behind. They are not down the line than the men. So this question is a debatable talk, and if we are continuing this unequal treatment with the women, so what could be the repercussions? So it's a question mark to you people. So what we are doing? Do you feel that women is a do you feel that by giving the equal respect to them, among the different arenas of life, among the different phases of life, economic and plus this, particularly when you talk about the political representation, which I was discussing with you people within this today's lecture. So if you are giving them, do you feel that the benefits which they are attaining, they are receiving, that the laws which are making, where the women provision, women the respect, their care is taken into the cognizance and consideration, we will witness a lot of progress. So it's a question you need to think on it. Let's have a thought on the sample idea that if you are giving them equal respect, if you are giving them political representation, if you are given the reservation among the different at the different level, state level, and at the Lok Sabha elections as well, the way we were giving them in the local self-governments, so definitely we can witness the progress. So what's your opinion about it? Just think and have a jot down assignment on it, and post to me, where we can discuss the different dimensions of the story as well. Till then I will be back to you with a new subtopic from the same chapter. Till then, take care and Allah Hafiz.